do you feel is the role of certifications to help deliver a wholesale change in the IT sector?
Certifications are market-driven tools which purchasers can use to drive vendors and industries in a more sustainable direction. An even stronger driver is legislation, but legislation is usually slow, and also it needs direction. So certifications can both be a quicker way to drive change and also point out the direction for legislation.
And do you hear and indeed feel reuse of products is gaining momentum and now gaining true legitimacy?
Yes, I would say so. In the Nordic region, which is, I would say, in the front of sustainable developments, reuse of IT product has become a natural choice for many organizations, and I'm certain that we will see the same development in the rest of the world going forward.
I guess any certification brings a sort of independent level of comfort, but what are the kinds of certification you can see which are really changing the behavior of the tech industry?
Yeah, I think there are different kind of certifications, and I think most of them play an important role. I mean, there are certifications for organizations like ISO 14001. There are also certifications for products like TCO Certified that which we are running, and certifications for services like the BSI Kitemark certification for remanufacturing. And I think all these kinds of certifications are important drivers for sustainability and also good tools for purchasers to use in their procurement. And it's not that easy for purchasers to know what vendors, products, and services to trust. So I think certifications definitely brings a value to support the purchasers in this.
I mean, do you think that resource preservation and the fight against electronic waste, from that aspect, is actually being heard clearly enough?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I think the public debate is still very much focused on direct environmental impact. If we look at greenhouse gases, for instance, it's very much focused on these direct scope 1 and scope 2 emissions that you generate yourself as a company or organization directly. But in many cases, the biggest impacts are actually from indirect emissions, the scope 3 emissions, which are generated somewhere else at manufacturing, for instance. And we look at a notebook. Today it usually generates more greenhouse gases during manufacturing than during the whole use time. So the most important from a climate perspective is really to prolong the life length of the notebook. So and also many of the metal used in IT products are limited, so we can't just let them disappear as waste. So we definitely need more focus on this issue in the public debate, I would say.
And when you consider the electronic waste, Earth's resources, look at the tech industry as a whole, and does the industry, in your view, have a magnified responsibility to be more sustainable than it is?
Yes, I definitely think this is the responsibility of the IT companies. In most cases today, pollutions and other sustainability violations don't cost the companies anything, and we need to change that. And as long as legislation doesn't address this, I think we need to put purchasing power on it.
I mean, in November, the UK hosts the COP26 conference in Glasgow. Do you believe that global events like that will give the climate crisis, will give sustainability, the circular economy, will give all of that a bigger spotlight? And do you believe as a result that it will bring meaningful change?
Yeah, that's also a really good question, and I think that these kind of events put the spotlight on the problems, but I don't think they are enough to create real change. I mean, we've had these kind of meetings and events for many years without significant results, I would say. So we really need to go from words to action, and I think that has to happen in everyday life of all of us. If the acceptance for this change is low among individuals, I think it will be very difficult to make the changes happen in reality.
I mean, it's clear sustainability doesn't have a silver bullet to cure all these ills. So given that, what is the importance of companies like Circular Computing delivering a product as new to the market? What difference do you think that sort of thing makes?
Yeah, I think this as new concept is really interesting, and I think it makes it easier for companies and other organizations to get started with reuse of IT products. Most organizations don't have the traditional purchasing pre-owned products, and I think remanufacturing and the possibility to buy as new lowers the threshold for the purchasers, and if they have a good experience of reuse, it hopefully also makes it easier for them to move more circular, to turn more circular going forward.
I'm really interested in getting a sense of how important a moment you think we're living through. So in receiving the world's first Kitemark certification for remanufacturing of laptops, do you feel circular computing has provided this sort of pivotal moment for the industry right now?
I really hope that this Kitemark certification will help change this. We already see pre-used products in parallel with new products in some reseller channels. So I really hope the certification will convince more buyers to choose this option. So perhaps a remanufactured product which is sold as new with a certified process behind may become a quality label per se, which gives comfort for the buyers to choose this option.
Soren, a really insightful conversation. Thank you very much for your time.